Hi guys, my name is Jasmine and I am your small town Grey Witch here to talk to you about angels and magic and starting a circle. So, when we're working with angels, we generally follow the same ritual steps. Now, when you're working with any deity, you do not need to do a big ritual, but I understand that some people really like the ritual-esque aspects of this. So, small rituals could be lighting incense and meditating every single day. That could be something small if you're not into this big, huge theological display. Alright? But we're going to talk about the huge, big theolo- blah, blah, blah. The huge, big. I cannot say that word today. I cannot. Performance. We'll use the word performance. This huge, big performance. So, when we're talking about angels, we work with them just like we would do any other deity when it comes to magic. It's really simple. We just have to incorporate in the sense of which they are at. So, what does that mean? It means you would do a ritual for Hecate, you can do a ritual for angels. It's just moving everything to a different pantheon. It may have a few different steps, okay? So, first I'm going to jump right into it. First thing you're going to want to do is clean you and your house. Like, physically clean you and your house. I love cleaning the house first. This goes for dark magic, light magic. Clean your freaking house. Get all the gutsies out and anything that's going to stick, because bad magic, bad energy sticks. So therefore, if you were pissed off the day before, that's going to stick around. It gets caught in the dust and the cobwebs. And you don't want affecting that magic that you're doing in today. So, clean your house. Now, when we talk about the big, huge ritual aspects of this, you're going to want to take a couple days, not just a day. So, I'm a very finite energy person. I only have so much energy. So, I usually take off like 3 different days for this. So, I take it off from work. I make sure my husband knows. Don't come to me. I'm doing something. Alright? And I've only done this like a handful of times because I've only needed to do it a handful of times. I usually stick with the small things. But I can say every time I've done this, it works really well. So, clean your house. Clean your house. Then, you're going to want to cleanse you in your house. Now, cleaning and cleansing are 2 different things. Cleaning is actually scrubbing the floors. Is actually getting the cobwebs off. Is doing your dirty dishes. Those things are cleaning. Now, when you talk about cleansing, you're talking about energetic cleaning. So, you are going to... I like putting salt on my floors. I know. You put salt on the floor. You sweep it out. Think practical magic style. Sweep it out. Get it out. Throw it outside afterward. Smudging. You don't need sage to smudge, people. Use what is local to you. But smudging, incense burning, bells, great way to break up the nasty generally energy that you have in your house, things like that. Then, clean yourself. So, a great thing that you can use is a shower. Oh my god, take another shower. I know, it's really weird. You can also do a bath. So pretty much you're going to focus on the energy, the gunky energy just dripping off of you. That's really what you want to set your intentions in the shower. The other things you can use to clean yourself, get a body scrub that is cleansing intensive. There's plenty online, look it up. You can make your own. Making your own stuff will actually enhance the magic. So the more you can prep and make your own things, the more you can enhance your magic. The more it's store-bought, yes, you put energy into the money that bought the thing at the store. So yes, it will still work. But I think that more you can put into it, the more it's yours, the more magic you will get back from it. But I understand some of us ain't always witching in the kitchen time. Gotcha. So, dragon's blood. We can burn that for protection. Lavender, calming, peace, and good night's sleep. So you want to get a good night's sleep before you cast any spells that night. burn some lavender, or spray your bed with a bed spray of lavender. Get yourself a good night's sleep, okay? Mugworts for divination or lucid dreaming. So if you want to set it up beforehand and get that divination in before you start doing your magic, do that the night before. Not the night before you're cleaning. Cleaning's day 1. I'm talking about between day 1 and day 2, okay? And then yerba mate. Don't know if I'm 100% saying that right, but that's for love and passion. So if you're doing like a love spell for you and your partner, that's a great thing to burn for incense. Just had to put it out there. But I want you to cleanse your house and cleanse yourself. Then, that night, before you go to bed, I want you to cleanse all of your tools. I want you to cleanse all of your tools with... You can do a bunch of different things. You can run them through smoke of the incense. That's totally fine. You can totally wipe them down with Florida water. Florida water is great for cleaning and cleansing. You can even dab yourself with Florida water to cleanse yourself. Rub your house. If you Florida water, you can totally run your house through it. Another way to cleanse your house is do a simmer pot. So throw things that are cleansing into a pot, boil it for a long time, keep adding water, keep boiling it. The steam kind of goes through the house. Boom. It's literally a simmer pot. And then you can use that water to wipe down things and things like that. No, you don't necessarily want to put salt 100% in your simmer pot because salt leaves a grime. Once you if you wipe down with salt water, it's going to leave a grime. So you don't really want to wipe down your table with something that's going to leave a grime. So just be aware of what you put in your simmer pots, ladies and gentlemen. Alright? One thing you really want to do when it comes to this is do not mix intentions. Okay? So when it comes to your house, you really want to clean your house with the intention of I'm cleaning my house. All bad spirits and all bad energy is going to be gone. I'm cleaning myself with all of that. And you're not going to be thinking about your work. Try not to think about your kids. Try not to think about your cats. Yes, those are part of your life and you're going to have to incorporate them. But try to keep a zen motion while doing that. The other thing is you're not going to be thinking about the 6th spell you want to do down the road. You really want to try to hold that space for what you're trying to do now, okay? Now, since we're working with angels, we have to go to the Bible slightly. When you're cleaning your sacred space, so that's your altar and the place you're going to be doing your workings in, some people move to the kitchen table while they're doing a spell because space or whatever you're cleaning that is sacred space, you're going to read Psalms 23 in the Bible. Trust me, read Psalms 23. If you can, read it 3 or 4 times. I prefer 3 times, but 3 is the magic number. So read it as you're cleaning that space for that last wipe down, okay? So, let's go back to when you're bathing and cleansing yourself, because I have notes, obviously. So, once you've actually cleaned yourself, you're going to cleanse yourself. So take that shower, blah, blah. Wash yourself with the herbs you want. Wash yourself with the things you want. Okay? It's just the way it is. And then don't rub yourself dry. Pat yourself dry. So all those herbs kind of stay on your body. It will give it a nice coating to or an armor to your soul or your spirit, okay? Just a little hint. And then when you're cleansing yourself, you're going to read Psalms 37, okay? Read it 3 times, cleansing yourself. Try to get yourself fully coated with that water. Alright? Like I said, then you're going to set your altar. Once you and yourself are cleansed, you're going to set your altar. Now, like I said, Florida water, things like that, sage smudge. The other thing I wanted to mention is keep your dark working and your light working places separate. At least that's how I do it. I know a lot of witches are like, no, this is my space. I'm good and bad. Sometimes that's the way it works for me too. But when it comes to really dark stuff, I have a box. It is said do not touch. I keep all of my things in that box and I put it away. All of the bad energy that I've done is in that box. It is not floating around my house. It's not there on a day-to-day basis. It is in the box. It is kept safe. It is wrapped up. That is my I need to handle some shit box. And then I have my normal altar. Don't mix them up if you can help it, because you don't want to be lingering around the stuff that you had to handle. You want to be able to go, nope, I handled it, it's done. All right? Keep the two separate if you can. All right? So, now let's talk about building your angel altar, because a lot of people don't realize angel altars are kind of the same but kind of different. So you have your north, east, south, and west, just like you do with a regular witch altar. You have the different things in each one. So for an earth, you'll get the dirt, stones, a bell, metal bits, things of the earth, because north equals earth. East is water, so things that you can put on the water point is a chalice of water, any kind of water, wine, libations for your spirits, blessing oils. So anything that's really liquidy. So fire, candles. Most people put candles. If you can't put a burning candle because you're in an apartment or blah blah, electric candle, it's still a symbolic concept. It works fine. You can also do spices such as red pepper flakes and I think dragon's blood and things like that too. So anything that would be considered hot, heat. You could put a little heat miser statue if you wanted to, if that resonated with you. All right? Do what you got to do with that spot. And then air, incense, feathers, owl pellets, which is regurgitated owl mice bits. If you're into that kind of thing. Any kind of representation of air, a fan. You can literally stick an electric fan, a little heat miser, water in a cup, and some dirt you collected from your backyard. Boom. There you go. I know it sounds a little weird to stick those things together, but it's what resonates with you, okay? So, when I was younger, I asked for a pair of rosary beads, and my mom got me a little rosary bead set, and on the part where it attaches was actually Mother Mary with the sand of Jerusalem in it. It's just a little bit of sand in the sand of Jerusalem. I usually put that for good workings on my earth altar because that resonates with me and it's earth. So you gotta work what you want, if that makes any sense. Now, itchy nose. Itchy nose. Sorry, I had to itch. So, the spirit is the 5th point. It's in the center. This could be where you put your cauldron, a pentagram, anything that represents some kind of, it could be literally your working. So, if you're doing a cord cutting, you're going to want to put the 2 candles, the rope, and that's your where your intention's going to go. That's your spirit, that's your working. All right? All right. After setting up your altar, make sure you cleanse all of your tools with incense, Florida water, sage, that's your a cleansing spray, holy oil or water, so on and so forth. When you're done with your working, make sure you also break down your altar and cleanse your tools. If it's I would still cleanse your tools even if you keep your altar up continuously. But if it's a negative working, make sure you break down that altar and put it away and cleanse your tools again. So, good altar or light altar, whatever you want to say. Cleanse your tools at the end too. Dark altar, put it away and cleanse your tools. Okay, we're going to do a lot of cleansing. Just because the next time you don't want that stuff lingering. Even if it's good stuff, unless you're working a spell for a long time. But this is the very, very end. So, now, when it comes to actual angels, you're going to kind of call the corners. So, A lot of places do petition papers for working. That's setting your intention. Great. That's dependent on your specific spell. So if you got to do petition papers or set your intention beforehand on your specific spell, awesome. If you're going right into casting the circle, then this is the part you want to go. So you're going to call the corners. Now, funny enough, calling the corners is like calling into the angels. So you got your, after cleansing and setting up your altar, I would sleep on it. I really would. And I would start whenever, so say you stayed up late cleaning and cleansing, start the next night with this. I'm a day person, so you can do your magic during the day, the night, the orange, the green. Do what works for you. I'm a morning person. I'll wake up at 5 a.m. and do my shit. So do it with you. If you're doing it on a moon cycle, then again, the moon is still out during the morning. So I just want to let you know, you don't have to be a night owl to do this. Okay? You're going to call, this is where you're actually starting the spell work. You're going to call in the corners. So, casting your circle. To cast your circle, and yes, I'm reading this because I wrote it all down. To cast your circle, first you must decide how big you want your workspace. So I tend to stick around my house. So I would cast a circle around my apartment, or around the bedroom, or around wherever your workspace is. Okay? You're going to try to not leave that circle. So if you realize, oh snap, I'm going to want to eat between all this, I'm going to want to, oh, I forgot this tool or something like that, try to cast your workspace, your circle, as big as your workspace. So like, I always forget things in the fridge, or I always forget things in the kitchen. So I'm going to want to try to cast it around the kitchen and my working bedroom. Okay? Okay. If you tend to forget something and you casted your workspace too smaller, it's not an SOL kind of thing. You can cut a small hole in your circle using like an athame or something like that. Leave your circle and then reset your circle. You don't have to do all these circles. Just imagine like you're closing it, like opening a doorway and closing the doorway to go get that thing. But we try not to do that. So you're going to pick that fits the workspace and all of the people involved. So if it's you and only you, awesome. If it's you and a coven, you're going to want to pick a workspace that's big enough for everybody to fit. If you pick a workspace that's 2x2 and you got 10 people, it's not going to work. Okay? Now, a circle can be physically marked on the ground with like salt or sticks or stones or anything like that, but it doesn't have to be. Some people need that physical seeing aspect to be able to really do their magic, but it doesn't have to be, okay? Or it can be marked with a witch candle, an athame, or a smudge. So, when we're talking about marking our circle, we're going to take the athame, the witch candle, the smudge, and literally walk a circle and create a circle. And as we're creating this circle with our athame, our smudge, our candle, whatever you want to use, you're going to literally see, like, you're going to picture an energetic boundary, kind of like a shield or like a bubble, going around and flowing out of that item. Okay? And you're going to create that circle. Alright? Cool. Then, calling in your corners and calling in your deities. So, when it comes to angels, we usually work with the lower angels. If you look at the angel hierarchy video, then awesome. If you don't watch that video, that's okay. But I'm talking about the closer to earth angels. And note, these angels tend to come in 4s. So, yes, there are 7 archangels, but there's actually like a lot more general angels, and so on and so forth. And these angels tend to come in 4s. The most popular 4 is Uriel, Raphael, Gabriel, and Michael, okay? When it comes to finding other 4s, I'm going to actually, there's this book, and I'll put a different book probably in section 2, but I don't like that book, so I don't like giving you that book. But this book, Angels, it's literally Angels by Silver Ravenwolf. This, if you are a beginner to working with angels in magic, it literally goes over everything, including setting up a basic angel altar, different angels that work with different, like, directions or elements, sun angels. It goes over so much information, and it even has, like, activities you can do. So this is a really thick, great way to start if you're looking into how to work with angels and magic, because it's thick and it has a lot of information. It's not hard to read. It even goes into the Hermetic rose and things like that. So the stuff the Golden Dawn would be into. Things like that. So we'll go into like the Golden Dawn and everything else in a different video. But that's like a really great book to start off with, if that makes any sense. So, calling in your deities. We're going to work with the 4 most popular, like I said. Okay, so you're going to turn to the north. That's usually where people like to start. It is Earth with the north. And you can say, I call upon the watchtowers of the north, God of Earth, I ask you to join our circle and protect it with your power. Welcome. And that's all you really need. That comes from a very generic thing, so I like to say more like, I call upon the watchtowers of the north. And then I'll say, Archangel Uriel, Angel of Earth, Angel of God, I welcome you. Please enter my circle and protect it. Or with Earth, I think it's more like creative. Please give me your creative energy, so on and so forth. I really want you to research these 4 angels. Gabriel is messenger. You can see that Michael's obviously the protector, so Gabriel, please enter this circle and bring forth messages of divine virtue and relay my intention to God, or relay my intention to higher powers, or relay my intention to heaven. You don't have to acknowledge Yahweh to work with angels, just saying. But that's kind of where you're at, because you're working with angels, so we're not going to pretend that like Yahweh isn't a thing. You could even say relay my messages to Ashira, which is the mother of angels, or Sophia, the grandmother of angels and the creator of the world, if that's what you believe. So you just want to kind of create a stance that fits your belief system. And if you want to acknowledge individual angels, just acknowledge them and what they're used to. So like, I call upon the watchtowers of the south, watchtowers of fire and passion. I ask Archangel Michael or Saint Michael to enter. Protect this circle with the strength of the heavens. I welcome thee. Boom. It does. You don't have to be super fancy. You can be like, hey, I open the circle. Angel of the North, Michael, please protect my circle. Boom. You don't have to be so fancy. I try to be fancy because we're talking about extended rituals here. Alright, Gully. This is my cat, Gully. He likes to sit on my books, and he's going down now. Alright. So, now you got your circle open. Boom. You have a circle open. At this point, you're going to do your ritual with the intent of angels in mind. Okay? So you're going to figure out which angels you want to work with, find out which 4. That's why I said research the 4. But you're going to figure out which 4 you want to work with. Do your ritual. It's really not that hard. I got a bunch of things about brooms. So with me, I did a cord cutting ritual once. So at that point, I had the 2 candles. Wrapped them with the wire, baptized both candles. It's a way to bring spirit into your work, speak their names into the candles, blow air into them, giving them the breath of life. Putting them here, wrapping the cord around them, burning them, letting them burn, writing what I had to write, saying I'm done, let them burn out. And then, at the very end of that, okay, you did your cord cutting, whatever you had to do. So on and so forth. I have a whole bunch of stuff. Then you're going to, I would say, give offerings or thank the spirits for everything they've done in whatever way you see fit. And be done with it. So then close the circle. You're going to turn to each tower, go counterclockwise this time. So the first time you go clockwise, the second time you go counterclockwise. So start in the north, and then instead of northeast, southwest, you go northwest, southeast. And you would say, Watchtower of the North, Uriel, thank you for your divine creation. Thank you for your inspiration and your love. I open the circle with full heart. You are welcome to leave or stay as you please. Or a lot of people like to say, marry me and may we meet again, which works perfectly fine. So you'd say, Uriel, marry me and may we meet again. And that's how you would, and you go to each one and you would say the kind of the same thing. And then you would walk the circle. So if you took anathema, you would walk the circle the opposite, so counterclockwise around, watching the circle release from or suck back into the athame, the witch candle, so on and so forth. And you would walk it back around to suck that circle back in. Okay? Okay. It's pretty simple, but it's also not. It's a lot of steps. And then at that time, you would take an atonement bath if you did something dark. So, spiritual forgiveness and atonement when doing something dark with angels is understandable. You ask them for help with something that you needed to handle, as I like to put it. And then you're going to cleanse yourself and ask for forgiveness for having that bad energy on you. And it's just a weight of energy. Now, you have to think about things in a way that, are they bad or are they good? So, some people would say that a cord cutting is not necessarily negative because you're like, hey, just get away from me. I want peace in my life. But some people would say you are activating your will on others, so therefore it is negative. But then the whole magic divine concept of what magic isn't activating your will on others, in a sense, even if it's for the good of all, you're still activating your will on others. So it gets really kind of tricky, but you need to set in your moral code what is negative and what is positive. And I would think of it this way. Do you have negative feelings at all when it comes to this situation? Yes? Okay, it's a negative spell, probably. Excuse me. So, when you're doing a cord cutting, especially if it's towards a person, I say specifically towards a person, and you want that person out, you probably want that person out for some sad, unhappy reasons. Then you're probably working through some negative shit. It's probably considered a negative spell. I know a witch who does, like, magic packaging boxes, and she cord cuts her magic, or herself, from each one of these boxes. So that way, she's no longer connected to the box as it goes to the next person. Her magic is still in it, but she's no longer connected. I would not consider that negative. So I would not ask for forgiveness or atonement. So you have to really think about, do I have negative feelings towards this? Am I doing it for a negative reason? Am I handling shit? If I'm handling shit, I need to wash the shit off of me. Okay? So, spiritual forgiveness and atonement. Now, you're going to do a spiritual bathing with hyssop. Okay? I know it's weird. So you can get hyssop at most metaphysical stores. It's pretty cheap. I know that the metaphysical stores right by me like to carry it on a very basic once in a while step. So when they do, I'm like, hyssop. But I try to leave some for others. If I really want a decent amount of it, I have to go like 2 hours down south to a store that I like called The Touch of Magic in Massachusetts. 2-3 hours. Because I'm in the New England area. That's all I'm gonna tell you is I gotta go. I'm upper north New England. Okay, so we're driving for that hyssop. All right, gotcha. And I'm not gonna even say it's 2 or 3 hours. I'm trying to like vaguely pick numbers. All right, and you don't have to believe me on that, but you're gonna get some hyssop. Now, you're gonna boil 2 cups of water on your stove, and then, as it's boiling, once you get it to a boil, you're going to start setting your bath. So, make yourself a bath. If you really don't have a bath, you can use the shower, but I think baths are better. And you're going to put hyssop in the boiling water, but you're going to shut it off. So, you're going to kind of steep it. So, let it boil. Once it's boiling, shut it off on the stove. Put your... Excuse me, I don't know why I'm having issues so much. Put your hyssop in the water. You can use one of the little metal steepers if you want to. You can use a throwaway tea bag if you want to. Or you can just pour it in the water. Just note that you're pouring this water into your bath. So, like, your drainage system is up to you. So a little steeper works really nice if you have one. You can do a cloth baggie, anything that will cause it to steep. Then set your bath. So you can put your lemons in your bath, set whatever you want up in your bath. But note that this is a spiritual bath. This isn't a foam bath. This isn't a shampooing your hair bath. This is a spiritual bath. So you should already be clean when doing this bath. I don't care if you gotta take 2 showers. You should already be clean while taking this bath. Then you're going to take your hyssop once it's steeped and pour it into your bath water. Alright? And then you're going to climb in. Okay? That's how you're going to make that bath. Now, when you get in your bath, you're going to try to take a bath for exactly 13 minutes. So if you have to set a timer on your phone, that's fine. Or have someone come and tell you, that's fine too. Just make it so that way you can shut the timer off right away. Or let it shut off by itself. I know my alarm clock plays forever. So you're going to want to shut it off right away. You're going to try to stay in the bath for 13 minutes. Exactly. Then, by the way, 2 tablespoons of hyssop for the 2 cups of water. Tablespoon each. It's not that hard. So if you do 3 tablespoons, so on and so forth. But really 2 tablespoons of hyssop per the 2 cups of water per huge bath. So you're going to try to stay in it for 13 minutes. And during those 13 minutes, and you're going to try to let your hyssop steep in the boiling water on your pot for 13 minutes as well. So let that steep for 13 minutes, get your tub ready. Then you're going to pour it in there and climb in. You're going to try to steep yourself for another 13 minutes in the tub. And as you're steeping yourself in the tub for 13 minutes, you're going to try to get yourself dunked into the water. Now, you're going to try to submerge yourself into the water 13 times. So it's 13, 13, 13. Okay? So, I understand. I like to put fake hair into. If you got a weave, if you got dye jobs, if you got something that you can't get wet with your hair, try to get it as, like, pull your hair up as much as you can and try to get it to, like, as deep as you can submerged, alright? We're not trying to ruin anyone's kind of, like, new hairstyle or anything like that. We're just trying to get clean. And every time that you submerge yourself, even if you can, just get your hands wet and blot them on your face if you really want to. Okay? Then while you're reading that, or while you're doing that, in between the submergings, you're going to read Psalms 51. Okay? So, in between that, read Psalms 51. So, it doesn't say you have to read Psalms 51 13 times. Just read it. Maybe, like, read... It kind of comes up in, like, sections. Is the way it's written. So, you could even, like, make 13 sections of Psalms 51. And, like, block it off in 13 sections. And then... because it's technically 19 blah blah blah, so just like add 2 lines to a really short one or whatever you want to do, and like read a little bit, dunk, come up, read a little bit, dunk, come up. And I say 13 sections because you're dunking 13 times in 13 minutes, so you got to read this whole thing within that 13 minutes while dunking 13 times, which is actually a lot of time because you really shouldn't be dunking yourself for more than like 5-10 seconds. Then you got 50 seconds to read. It really doesn't take that long. I sat there and steeped for a while after I had like half the time to steep after reading Psalms. If you feel the need, read it again. Read it again. I like to read it 3 times, so I'll dunk a couple times, sit up, read the whole thing, dunk a couple times, sit up, read the whole thing, dunk a couple times, and then sit up and read the whole thing. So, that's pretty much that. Make sure that when you do this, all of you, if you did a dark spell, all of your stuff should already be put away, already cleansed. This is the very, very, very last step, is taking care of you. Okay? Very last step. Alright? The only thing after that is that if you burn things, you could make your black salt to protect you and help you move forward. But after you're done dunking yourself, all of your journaling's already done. Everything's already done. So this should be like the last step other than making your black salt. Black salt is the last thing that you should probably do. You could technically make your black salt before this, but it's like black salt to me is your protection, your way of moving on. So if you burned your journal papers or something like that, because that's how you need to release, then you're going to take that and make your black salt after and be like, I'm done. So, now, that's pretty much how you work with angels with a huge big ritual spell. Okay? It's not a lot compared to some other, like, it's a lot for a ritual conceptually, but it's not that much different with any other being. And again, the Psalms 51 is really for cleansing and forgiveness, so just be aware of that if you didn't do anything wrong. And also, each technical ritual should be tweaked a little bit different compared to what spell you're doing. You might have some staple things that you do, but like, for instance, the forgiveness and atonement with the hyssop, you don't need to do that if you didn't do anything to need forgiveness from. And then I said I give it a 3-day thing. So after that, you're gonna go to sleep and you're gonna rest. And you can watch TV, you can meditate, you can sleep, you can do whatever you want. Just take care of yourself on the 3rd day. So first day is preparation, cleaning, cleansing, whatnot. Second day is doing. 3rd day, rest. That's how I do it. It's a 3-day cycle, and it really makes everything go good. All right? So that's how you would do a big ritual with angels, is pretty much you would just use what they know. Use their pantheon. Dress your altar with statues of them, or feathers, or wings, or things that have to do with angels. If you wanted to do a thing with Medusa, you would dress your altar with snakes, or talk to her, or blah blah blah. Same thing with angels. It's just note that angels are very business oriented, so they're gonna want direct notion of what you want. So if you're doing a cord cutting, I do not want this person to contact me. I want to be done with this person in my life. I don't want to harm anybody. I just don't want to talk to them. I want no contact with them. Every time they contact me, I want them to feel the urge not to, whether it be through sickness, through disgust, through whatever. Have them whisper in their ear, have them turn the other cheek and walk away. So when it comes to things like this, you just really want to be 100% clear on what you want them to do, because angels are like businessmen. No nonsense, get the job done. They can be loving and very kind, but they're very, very strict. Alright? So just keep that in mind. Some people even think they're a little harsh. I think fallen angels actually have a little more life into them in a weird way. Alright, so we'll get on to fallen angels. We'll get on to how to work with them. The one thing I did want to bring up, which I almost forgot, side note, and I'm going to bring it up right now, is that angels, if you're working with a specific angel, not the group before, because you're doing, I don't want to say a lesser ritual, but like a ritual that only involves one angel, you're not starting a circle, you're not calling in the 4, you're not doing all that, then you can actually use angel symbols. And you can even use angel symbols for the 4, sigils, symbols, whatever, for the 4, and put each sigil on the thing. This is Michael's sigil. You should see it in the corner right now, just so you guys are aware of what you're looking for. But I really want you to note that you don't need sigils. They are very helpful when it comes to meditating with the angels or talking to the angels. It gives you something to focus on, so on and so forth. They are not needed, but it is a very useful tool. Just make sure you're using the right sigil for the right angel, please. A lot of people like to draw their own sigils and then, well, put them up on the internet, and people think that's the legit one, and it's not. It's something that's personal to them, which probably won't work with you. So make sure you're getting the right sigils. Again, this one's Michael's. It is his legit sigil. If you want to use this one, you can even look it up on Google. But this is Archangel Michael's sigil. So you can even put these on the 4 corners of your altar, if that helps. So, or even in the spirit zone, if that's the angel you need the most. So on and so forth. There's a lot of reasons to use sigils. Just put it on your intention paper, whatever you need. Alright? So I just wanted to bring up that archangels and angels in general do have sigils. And fallen angels and demons also have sigils. So just be aware of that. It goes both ways. I'll get more into fallen angels, demons, so on and so forth afterward. in a different video, but I just wanted to bring up that sigils are a great way to work with angels in magic. Alright, so I think that is just about everything that I could talk to you about in this particular video. Again, you need to be aware of what you're doing and the consequences of it, and you need to own your shit. But don't let that hold you back from doing magic, alright? So if you liked this video, please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what angels you work with in the comments, and most importantly, as always, go do magic. Bye, guys.